Welcome to the Death Battle Cast, the show where things happen.
It's us.
Yep, it us. I'm Ben, voice of Wiz. It Chad, voice of Boomstick.
Hi, that's
Chad.
me.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it Liam.
Damn.
Voice
It
of
Liam. Voice
Wow.
of voice of Liam.
And then we're joined by it's Josh,
Hello.
director of the most recent episode.
Yeah.
Will come out, which is amazing.
Yeah.
If you have not seen Batman vs. Iron Man yet, we got to talk about it. We got some
Give me
stuff
some
to talk about, right, Josh? Yeah. But Josh, how's it feel to be back in the Death Battle seat directing an episode?
Oh, it feels so good. I mean, it feels so good to be back. Like, the schedule just makes sense. It's great to have new Death Battle content every single week. And it's great to have everybody so excited to have us back. And this was a great episode to work on, and I'm really proud of it. And it's such a blast. So getting to read all y'all's comments about how much you loved it and how awesome that fight track is and all this great stuff about it. It's been awesome. So happy to be back.
Yeah, for sure. For one hell of an episode too, Batman vs. Iron Man. I know there's a lot of expectation behind a matchup like that. It's big characters, a big matchup. But it's our 10-year anniversary, right?
Josh
we gotta
can
do the
handle
big
it.
matchups. Yeah, Josh can handle it. He's got this. Clearly. Man, the fight turned out so cool.
It really did.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about some. I think we got a couple questions that we can hit a little on later on in the show. We also have a sneak peek for the upcoming episode of Death Battle, Goku Black versus Reverse Flash, which I believe premieres this weekend for first members.
Dude, the fight is so cool.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's they're time travelers, so it gets wild.
It gets insane. I got to watch it for the first time yesterday, and I got so excited.
Isn't it great? Isn't it fun?
It's so amazing.
And real quick, thank you to all the first members for watching this live. If you're not first, you can support us and watch exclusive content and see new death battles before anything else by signing up at roosterteeth.com.
Start a trial. It's free.
Yes, trial is absolutely free. And you get more of the death battle. There's plenty of other stuff that Rooster Teeth makes, right? Like, there's so much stuff on the website. Go check it out.
Yeah, and discounts on the merch store. First access to tickets to RTX. Yep. Lots of cool stuff for being a first member. And if you've been a first member, thank you so much. It was a huge reason that the company was able to continue what we do throughout the entire pandemic, because that was a crazy time. And your support really meant a lot and kept us going. Sorry, it still is. Hence why we're recording this from home.
Trying to compartmentalize, trying to, if I believe that it's done,
exactly.
Then it maybe is, emotionally
guys,
speaking.
it's almost 2022.
I'm done emotionally.
Ended, right?
I don't know. I'm in a weird
crazy.
state. I got accidentally way too drunk last night. So
Well,
Nice.
Great.
it usually doesning happen with me.
What was the...
that's
dude,
unheard of.
I don't know what happened. Do you guys remember Zach, who used to work for Rooster Teeth? He streams on Twitch as Toast FPS, and he's been doing a subathon. And I popped into chat to support him for a second. He was like, "Get in Discord," and I was like, "Okay." And I don't know, something in me was like, "What if I just drank like crazy while I was in this Discord?" At one point, I was singing and playing guitar for his chat.
Ooh.
And then I woke up at 5:45 in the morning on the couch holding a jar of peanut butter.
Holy fuck.
And then I was like, what the fuck happened? And then I just put that away and went back to bed. I don't know.
Sounds fun to watch.
I had a similar experience, not 100%, but I accidentally had, well, yeah, go on.
Did it end with a jar of peanut butter?
No, it didn't. It ended all right, but I did accidentally have an edible the other day, and it really shouldn't have been accidental, because I was told this is an edible, but the guy that was giving it to me is like a jokester that will say stuff like that. So I thought he was just joking. I was just having
Oh no. Also, let's point out that it's totally legal where Liam lives.
Yep. And then we went out because it was part of a film shoot, which is ironic because in the movie that we're filming, my character brings edibles onto the film shoot, and the main actor gets high in the movie. So it was kind of a fun, kind of conflagration of things there. So then after we were done shooting, I had the edible, and then we went out for drinks, and then we went to see Citizen Kane in movie theaters because it just
you were like, it was the best time I've ever seen it.
It was the best fucking experience. I already like Citizen Kane, so seeing it crossfaded, I was like, oh my fucking god.
When it got to the scene where he's just destroying the room, was it just
I was like, oh, this is the best scene ever. And it was like the movie reel, and I caught a detail that I hadn't before where it says like his first wife and child die in a car crash, and I was like, oh, that contextualizes so much at the end of the movie. He really is all alone in that mansion. Yeah, it was an unbelievable experience. Highly recommend watching Citizen Kane crossfaded on a big screen.
Sure.
So a little different from Chad's, but
A little different.
Yeah.
Oh
Thank
my
you
God.
thank you for joining me on this journey, Liam. It's okay to be vulnerable with the internet.
Yeah, exactly. That's amazing. Well, after that amazing start, let's get to our, I guess, community death battle, because we do have quite a few things we need to hit on today's show. So, for today's community death battle, we are going to be doing Wario versus Knuckles. That guy. And here's how this is going to work. Liam is going to be arguing for Wario. Right, Liam? You chose Wario, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Because I prepared for Knuckles.
You
I just
just-
realized
you
that-
just-
No,
you just
I'll
argue
argue for Knuckles better.
Ben's biggest fear is showing up having prepped for the wrong person.
It's gonna happen at some point. I know
It's gonna
it.
be great.
For sure.
Can't wait.
Like, there's like so much going on that I have to like do all the research in one in an hour and one day or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm good to go. And then like a day or two passes, and then I get ready for the show, and I'm like, wait, do I have everything? I don't even know.
I just do it
but anyway.
before, and then hope I can remember. I don't even. I just am looking at a. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be good.
Yep, we're good. We're good. We're good. Anyway, it's our job to convince the jury to vote for our respective characters through any means necessary, and the jury consists of 3 seats. That's Chad, that's Josh, and that's you watching this live. We record the show live on Rooster Teeth Live every Wednesday at noon Central Time. But this isn't the courtroom. We're all part of the conversation. So go ahead and chime in. It goes for everybody here as well as you watching live. I'm looking at the chat right now. So I want to know what you think. But let's go ahead and get this started with opening statements. Liam, do you want to start?
Yes, I do. Wario, the man, the myth, the legend.
Wow.
Antithesis to Mario, Wire of Waz. He is effectively immortal, and in such a way that Knuckles really has no effective way of doing damage to him and killing him. He is just so tough. He is like the Mario universe. Mario universe is always a little Toon Force-y, but Wario takes it all the way, where his power-ups are just the way that he receives damage. Like he becomes flat Wario when he's crushed flat, which means that he can survive being crushed flat. He's regenerated from being turned into fucking dust, and he has the largest, most unsettling mouth I've ever fucking seen. He is going
forget the
to,
other side.
if not crush Knuckles, devour him. And let me tell you, at the end of this fight, Knuckles is not going to be Chucklesing.
Oh God, kill me. End my life with that one. That was the worst thing that's ever been said on this show.
You don't even
I
know
vote
how
for
bad
Ben.
it is.
I vote for
Just
Ben.
like
That was rough. That was rough.
he doesn't chuckle, and that's the point. Let's get to me. Come on, let me get at this. All right. So, apologies. This Death Battle cast is about to get demonetized.
Wait, what? What are you doing?
Because the best way to describe how Knuckles is going to win this is to use his own words. Here I come, rougher than the rest of them. The best of them,
Jesus.
tougher than leather. You can call me Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles. I'm hard as nails, it ain't hard to tell. I break them down whether they're solid or frail. Unlike the rest, I'm independent since my first breath. First test, feel the right, then the worst left. The new porcupine on the block with the buff chest, out in the wilderness with the ruggedness. Knock, knock, it's Knuckles. The bloat thrower, independent flower, magic emerald holder. I'll give you the coldest shoulder. My spikes go through boulders. That's why I stay a loner. I was born by myself. I don't need a posse. I get it on by myself. Adversaries get shelved. Done. That's all you need. That's all you need. And everybody's gone. See, I win. Josh, what would you like to vote for?
I would have left, but I'm paralyzed. I'm speechless. That was unexpected. Oh my gosh, what do we do? End the show. Credits.
It was so bad that I guess my roommates like heard it even though it was in headphones, and then they locked the door to my room, my bedroom, which I didn't even know was possible. I didn't think it locked on the outside. So I'm actually stuck in here forever until I die.
Here's what I would like to point out. Liam and I can't see each other when it was on Ben's cam. Like, what you see is what we see, both of us felt that urge that we had to get up and leave our chairs.
And I couldn't move. I mean, I would have. I couldn't move.
Knock, knock, it's Knuckles, baby. All right. I will point out, though, Liam, who is very red in the face right now.
Yeah, it's just really hot in my room. I'm going to turn on my air conditioning unit because it's really hot.
Well, that's usually helpful. Liam did say that Knuckles is not going to chuckle, but he doesn't chuckle already.
He's not going to chuckle because he's going to be dead, because he's going to have one of Wario's giant brick-sized teeth impaling his forehead.
The line I did not get to because the song is very long is actually...
You didn't get to anything!
Yeah. It's actually... Well, there's a line in here that says, I have no weak spots. So, I mean, there you go.
There's a line in the Knuckles rap where he says, I can destroy a multiverse with the flick of my finger. They get owned. I didn't know that they could figure out a rhyme for multiverse.
Don't you remember the refrain where he's like, "Actually, I'm God."
Well, okay.
Tougher than the rest of them, higher dimensional than the rest of them.
Taking a more direct approach to it, I will say that I think it might be easy to look at this and go like, oh, well, I'll just look at the old Mario versus Sonic episode that we did in 2018. And spoilers. The plumber won that one. But it's important to note that one of the main reasons why Mario won that one was because of strength and power. He had the ability to overpower Sonic. That's kind of Knuckles' whole thing, is strength and power. He definitely is able to overpower Sonic, and to the point where he can beat Sonic in a fight, even though he's definitely not as fast as him. Like, that's kind of one of the like very soft reasons why we were like, okay, it kind of makes sense that Mario would be able to beat him, because it's a similar situation.
Oh, that's
Liam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. The way you said it, it sounded like there was more.
It did. We all were waiting. It sounded like you were about to keep going.
Okay.
Well, I can keep going.
I would say no. I'm going to keep going now.
Okay.
Now the chair has been ceded to me. I would say that you reveal the weakness of your own argument with your argument.
Oh my God,
Ben.
he's shaking his whole thing.
I wanted to see if I could really shake it dramatically, and I did. Sure, Knuckles is stronger than Sonic, and you might say, well, then that evens out. But if you remember that episode, we concluded that Mario's reactions, not his running speed, obviously, but his reactions, the combat-related stuff, was equal to Sonic. So if Knuckles is slower than Sonic, then Wario is actually faster. And much like the relationship between Sonic and Knuckles, Wario is stronger than Mario, tougher, without sacrificing any speed. So I would say that Wario is like he survived. Should I bring it up now? I'll bring it up now. Fuck it. He survived the Shake King's explosion, as we determined in Wario versus King Dedede, which was like planet level. So it was kind of surprising, but a lot of clouds that were blown away across the entire planet. And that was a planet level explosion that Wario took, and he was just fine. He wasn't even hurt. That was like the end of the game. That was like, wow, good. I'm gonna go eat garlic and kill people. So I don't see. So Knuckles isn't going to be fast enough to keep up with the wall.
I think you're twisting my words a little bit, because you mentioned we in that episode Mario isn't as fast as Sonic running speed, but can keep up with his reaction. That's what I'm talking about. Obviously, Knuckles can't run as fast as Sonic, but he can obviously keep up in terms of reactions because he can fight him in. He can keep up with him in a fight. Not to mention, Knuckles can keep up to a certain extent. It's not like Knuckles is just flat out slow compared to Sonic. He's just not able to beat him in a race. Like, he's just never going to even try. But there's plenty of examples where he's able to keep up with Sonic in stressful or combat situations. Like the entire Sonic Heroes game is proof of that, for example. And planet level is nothing for Knuckles. Like, that these people in Sonic take that shit all the time.
Like what per se?
He's gonna go Archie.
I'm not going Archie.
Okay.
I was wondering if he was going to do Archie. He was going to pull Archie out.
I was expecting it.
If you want me to, I could. But if I go Archie, like Knuckles
is gone.
Yeah, Knuckles erases Wario from existence with a thought. Like,
yeah.
Like that's how he works in it. If you guys don't know, you know how Shadow was like introduced as the ultimate life form and living Chaos Emerald in Sonic Adventure 2? They did that in the Archie comics like 5 years earlier with Knuckles. Maybe not 5 years. Actually, I think it was pretty close. A year or two earlier. He's a living Chaos Emerald. Yeah. I don't think it was intended because like the way it all worked out was, and it was like really confusing to me as a kid reading it. Is Knuckles was going through this whole story. I know we're really off track, but Knuckles was going through this whole storyline where he was like losing control of his powers, and he had to like figure out how to like control it or whatever. It started like bouncing through time and whatnot. And then the Sonic Adventure 2 like tie-in happened, and it was like Shadow's a living Chaos Emerald. I'm like, wait a minute, this is like the exact same story we've been covering with Knuckles for the past 2 years. Okay, but anyway,
hey. It's time to celebrate. The NFL's finally back, and DraftKings is here to make it more exciting. That's right, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL has millions of reasons why you should be excited. To kick off the football season, DraftKings is giving new customers a free shot at a $1 million top prize, with a total of $4 million up for grabs. So, Thursday, it's the opener. Get in there. You get in on the Thursday night single game showdown. Is easy. All you got to do is draft 6 players from the season opener, stay under the salary cap, and see how your team stacks up against the competition. So head to the app now. Feel the NFL action like you've never felt before, because now you got $1 million online, huh? So download the DraftKings app now and use code CAST, C-A-S-T, this week. New customers can get a free shot at $1 million top prize and $4 million in total prizes. Enter the code CAST to get a free shot at $1 million top prize with your first deposit. That's code CAST, C-A-S-T, only at DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. Go check it out. Make football more exciting.
I feel the need to point this out, even though it's, this is only for posterity's sake. And in case anybody watching still thinks that we were biased against Archie Sonic in Wally versus Sonic, in Flash versus Sonic, it's the entire camera's on me, so I'm pointing into nothingness. Biggest Archie Sonic fan.
Brian did you a solid.
Ever.
I don't know about ever. I didn't collect till the end.
Okay,
I stopped collecting at some point.
So I don't know about ever, but yes, I am a huge fan.
But I am a huge fan of it.
You pulled up the encyclopedia scans.
It got kind of weird for a while there, and then Ian Flynn showed up and fixed it.
I mean, I thought I knew Sonic, coming from, a long-time video gamer. And then I met Ben. And then I was like, oh.
Let's show you the world.
Ben told me, yeah, he did. He's like, I'm going to show you this crazy world of all these comics. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It changed a lot of how I experienced the games, for sure. They were very different beasts to me, thanks to the weirdness of Archie Sonic. But either way.
I don't think... I think that Knuckles would need to go super in order to keep up with Wario's base. But Wario has even better stuff than that. I would say he first of all, he's got his own super form, which is Wario Man, which he can activate anytime through just a bite of garlic. So really, just as much garlic as he has, and he just goes back to it. There's no kind of
got some Popeye vibes, right?
Exactly. Yes, very much so. And he once survived this is in a comic panel, so I can't show it, but I promise. He once survived an absolutely gigantic black hole in Mario Party, which was sucking in stars and shit, which would be way more than planet level. He was fine.
Is Mario Party up for grabs here? Like, I feel like
Mario Party works. It works.
I feel like we've always treated Mario Party as a little outside the box.
You say all the time on the show in Community Death Battle that by any means necessary to win. So hell yeah,
right.
Dude, he can bring up Mario Party.
Well, if he can bring up Mario Party, then I can bring up Archie Sonic.
You can bring up Archie Sonic.
I wanted to avoid this.
If you're going to bring in Mario Party and like random shenanigans that doesn't match with what's actually happening.
Why Mario Party should count.
Okay, go on. What is it? This I want to hear.
Archie Comics is a totally different universe. Like, it's very clearly a different universe. Sonic, different. Knuckles, very different. Mario Party always starts off with like a framing moment where it's like all the Mario characters are hanging out in regular Mario Land, and then like, ooh, crazy, I'm gonna kill you monster comes in and goes, here's a party, and then they have a big board game where they are sent to these different dimensions where they have these fucking like mini games and shit. So it's clear that the events like happen. They fit within the same kind of Mario world. It's not like it's a different universe. It's just shenanigans. I don't know.
WLM27 says if Mario Party works, so does Sonic Shuffle.
Sonic Shuffle counts. Sonic Shuffle counts.
I mean, by the same argument, Sonic Shuffle would count. I don't know, man. Like,
are there any Sonic Shuffle feats I don't know about?
At the end of Mario Galaxy, the black hole is going to kill everybody, and then Rosalina saves them. So
that's a much larger black hole, and it's arguable that Bowser survived it.
Guys, I've never thought about this.
Since I've
But later for Alligator says, Mario Party treats Toad as physically on par with Bowser, so who knows? And I've never thought about that before, but you're right.
Yeah, because Toad can fight Bowser in Mario Land or Mario World, 3D Mario World.
Yeah, to be fair, there is at least one Toad that can compete with the rest of them because Mario 2 happened.
Yes.
Although Mario 2 might be a dream.
It's a dream, yeah.
It is a dream.
Whatever. Either way, okay. So let me
Mario is universe level by waking up because he destroys the dream dimension.
I can cover Archie if it comes up, but I will start with what I've got for games because I also want to make sure we get to talk to Batman Iron Man. So let me get through.
We're going to talk to Batman Iron Man?
Yeah, they're coming in just a few minutes. So we got to be ready. Sonic moves at relativistic speeds, but he definitely has light speed reactions, right? Done. Knuckles can keep up with him in combat. Light speed reactions makes sense. With Super Knuckles and Hyper Knuckles, he's able to compete with or scale to creatures like Solaris and Gaia. Now, I've always kind of argued that saying that the characters have the same Solaris was able to erase all of time and space and reality and whatnot, crazy god powers, and I don't know if it's fair to necessarily say that all the super forms are able to just match it exactly, because there's a lot of tricky shit that they had to do to actually beat Solaris. But everything else, like Gaia, the Time Eater, etc., they can just overpower directly. And Hyper Knuckles is more powerful than Super Knuckles. Hyper Sonic's more powerful than Super Sonic, etc. So they're definitely up there in the upper echelons of universe level power when it gets to that sort of level. It's definitely near there. And a good example of this would be in Sonic Mania. Knuckles was able to defeat the Phantom King, and the Phantom King was powered by the Phantom Ruby, and with it was able to create and destroy entire dimensions. So kind of supports lower level Solaris kind of thing. But scaling aside, I think one of the most important things about Knuckles that I think is fucking crazy is that he's red. No, he can punch explosions. No, it's actually the very first thing.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it was coming.
It's actually the very first thing we ever see Knuckles do.
Yes.
Is he punches Sonic out of Super Sonic. which I believe is the only time we ever actually see this happen. And it's a little weird because the way Supersonic works is he's essentially indestructible. Like, he's said to be invincible. And as far as game mechanics go, he should be invincible. However, and I do kind of have to lean on Archie's comics with this, just because of trying to explore how the super form actually works. Because the games don't really explain it. All we get from the games is there's a countdown of power rings. Once he runs out of power rings, he goes back to his base form. It's like, okay, sure, that's fine. There's a time limit of some form, and it's represented by the power rings, because the Chaos Emeralds use similar energy as the power rings, blah, blah, blah. So in the Archie Sonic comics, it kind of elaborates on it a little bit, and I think we can draw from it in this regard. It works sort of like the fusion forms from Dragon Ball, in that you can't kill a Super Sonic or a Super Knuckles, but you can overpower them and speed up the process of that time limit. So what I think is happening at the beginning of Sonic 3, when Knuckles punches Super Sonic, who just turned Super Sonic like 4 seconds earlier, is that he's hitting him with so much force, he's able to completely overpower all of Super Sonic's like latent energy, run down the clock in an instant, and knock him back into normal Sonic mode.
Or Ben, he's punching him forward in time.
You know what? Given the crazy shit that happens in Sonic, that is also entirely possible. But if he's able to do that, and a creature like Solaris can't speed up or Gaia. Well, Gaia, it's kind of implied, was able to do that, but it took the entire fight, right? And Gaia is a planet level threat. So that, I think that, and that's base Knuckles we're talking about here, is capable of punching so hard he breaks somebody who is canonically invincible. I don't know how Wario's going to be able to stand up against something like that, especially once Knuckles goes hyper.
Well, Wario would reform himself from dust.
Yeah, first of all, Wario would just regen. Second of all, how's Knuckles gonna hit him when Wario is actually significantly faster? Not only can Mario react to things passing by him while being launched by a launch star in Galaxy, which sends him to different galaxies within seconds. He is also capable of dodging attacks from a Grand Star-powered Bowser, who can tag Starship Mario with his meteors, and flew to the center of the universe in a very short amount of time. Yeah, so if anything, he'd be even faster than Super or Hyper Knuckles.
Good news is Knuckles doesn't have to hit him. Knuckles as Super and Hyper Knuckles, might just be Hyper Knuckles, has the ability to just hit anything in the environment and everything around him gets like destroyed. So
then
all he has to do is just punch the ground, and then Wario 100 feet away, just, wah!
Wario would go wah all over. He would just dodge. And also,
you can't dodge something that destroys everything in the vicinity.
I don't know, Ben. He's got a motorcycle.
Yeah, and he's got the Wario car. And like we said, he can regenerate. His body is a tuned body. It's not going to be hurt by anything that generates it's not going to die by anything that generates a crazy amount of force or whatever. Fine, whatever. He'll come back from it. And I should also add that Wario has survived entire dimensions being collapsed. He did at the end of Wario World, Black Gem. And power stars can create pocket dimensions that are full of stars. Like I have a night full of stars in the sky, implying the size of a universe. And characters that have absorbed power stars like Bowser can't be defeated by Mario and his gang. So I would say that Wario is just as tough, but he also comes with this insane healing factor and tons of power-ups, which would more than allow him to keep up with Knuckles' unique abilities.
What's Knuckles gonna do if Wario eats him?
Get fucking digested.
Break himself out. Angel Cam in the chat does mention that base Knuckles broke in Sonic X broke through an alien's quoted indestructible shield. So he does have those feats where
I need to get access to
there are
the
things
chat
that
at
are
some
considered
point.
indestructible.
Because you always read off feats from the chat that are supportive of your argument, but I don't get the chat.
You could have the chat open too. I have it open.
How do I have it? Well,
it's just the live stream, dude.
Yeah.
Just go to roosterteeth.com/live/RT-TV.
Okay.
Or just go to Rooster Teeth and click the live button on the side.
Yeah.
Go
Here's
straight
the
Do you
to
hear
live
that, chat?
Okay.
After
I
all
thought
this
you was
time,
cheating.
Liam's never ever been
Never
reading your
once.
comments.
Oh, there I am.
Wow.
I'm
And
delayed.
that is why you should vote for Knuckles.
Hey guys.
Watch, he's not gonna be logged in.
Whoa.
Oh,
I'm
no,
gonna
he
need to
is, there
turn
he is.
that sound off because that's breaking my head. Okay.
Well, we need to get you a staff badge.
Oh my god.
True.
The Brawl Bro says it's okay if Wario eats them because Sonic characters are used to getting vored, according to the internet.
Ew, that's true,
God,
though.
gross.
That's true
That's
though,
true.
but it doesn't mean he's
So-
resistant. Hey, okay, so I'm gonna call out to the chat. Hey guys, give me all those sweet
Do you type that slow?
Wario.
Look at how desperate he is.
I'm not desperate. I'm merely engaging with the fans. This is brand.
Wait, did you just
engagement.
read off what you were typing as you were typing it?
Yes.
Yes, he did. Very
comedic
slowly.
effect. And well, you know what? I'm like dealing with a lot of different things at the moment.
Are you sure that brownie you ate
I'm
is
trying
like?
to. No, the brownie
Staying
is in the
with you,
movie.
Justin?
The brownie is in the movie. My character brings the brownies. It's the gummy. It was a gummy that I had. It gave me
Oh.
insane cotton mouth. I was like, I didn't know.
Oh,
that
we're
this was a
bringing it all
thing.
around.
Yeah. But speaking
All
of,
right.
But speaking of eating things that you're not supposed to, Wario is going to eat Knuckles, and then 4 to 6 hours later, Knuckles ain't gonna be too happy. He's gonna be bad.
Yeah. What about WarioWare, where Wario seems to be the master of his own universe?
Well, I got the recent WarioWare game, and it was very good. I've been playing it kind of off and on. That's my addition. That's where Wario Man comes from, right? He also has Wario Man that he can stack on top of all of that crazy
Yeah,
shit.
Wario Man isn't invincible though, right? It's just
He is.
Well, so was
He
Sonic,
is?
and Knuckles
Okay.
punched it out of him. So who cares?
yeah.
So,
I mean, theoretically,
Even if he
Knuckles could punch
punched-
him hard enough that he punches
even
the
if he-
garlic right out of him.
Even if he punched
Yeah,
the garlic
exactly.
out of him, he could just eat the garlic again. It's not a consistent thing.
I mean, Knuckles could take the garlic. Like, I think Knuckles isn't very
He's
smart.
gonna
but
steal the garlic.
I think he would figure out the garlic shit
I don't think
pretty
Knuckles
quick.
can read. I don't think. Didn't he like eat a napkin at one point because he thought it was food?
I think it's Sonic Boom he did, but we're not talking about Sonic Boom Knuckles.
Okay.
But before we move on, it's time to talk about ExpressVPN. Using the internet without ExpressVPN is like keeping your window curtains open at night. It's probably fine, but anyone could be peering in and you can't even see them. Look, when you go online without a VPN, other people can look in on your internet activity without you knowing. Your ISP, hackers, that one neighbor you forgot you gave your router password to. That's why it's a good idea to browse more anonymously with ExpressVPN. They route your connection through a server that's encrypted so ISPs and hackers can't peer in on you like creeps. And ExpressVPN is really simple to use. Just open the app, one click, and you're protected. I use it on my PC, I use it on my phone. It makes me feel good knowing that I'm always protected and safe. And you can secure your online activity by visiting expressvpn.com/dbc today. That's expressvpn.com/dbc. And you can get an extra 3 months free, expressvpn.com/dbc. Thanks, ExpressVPN. And no
I
one
think the only
should.
thing that could possibly sway it in Knuckles' favor is the jump glitch. Because what is Wario supposed to do against an infinite jumps? That's from Sonic Boom, the video game, if you all
That is
remember
also
that.
funny. Flaming Kitty mentions in Sonic Boom, Knuckles can fly and survive in space in a dream. In Sonic
In a dream.
X, no, but in Sonic X, which is more based on the games than basically any other show outside of Boom to Boom,
Yes.
they are just, he has like a training match with Sonic in space on top of their spaceship. And they like fly out into space and they're like, oh shit, we got to get back to the ship. And they're just fine. They're not in suits or anything. So
I guess that
And
means
they're not in
that
super form or
Knuckles
anything.
really can fly. He doesn't just glide. But Wario Man can also fly. And we've also forgotten about Wario's most powerful technique.
I was waiting when you were
The
going to bring up this.
waft.
Yep.
What the fuck is Knuckles? Then Knuckles takes one whiff, and his head is going. His
Almost made it
nose
through.
are gonna explode. He's gonna die. It's a nuclear fart. No fucking Super Emerald is gonna help you from the smell of Wario's whatever he ate last night. And tomorrow it's going to be Echidna.
Okay.
Well,
what he would've
Fanta
eaten
Callan in the
last
chat
night,
says that
what
Knuckles is voiced by Idris Elba. So what's Wario gonna
That's
do?
Yeah, and
true.
Wario
Like,
is
what's he
voiced by
gonna do?
Liam Neeson. So there you go. I made that one up.
Was he?
That was-
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about?
All right. Just to
So
wrap this
Laurence
argument
Olivier.
up. Just
I
to
have
wrap
a
this
pretty-
argument up so that we can move on to the Q&A.
Yeah.
I do want to say, in response to the waft, I just looked up, just Googled, how fast is a fart? And according to NBC News, a fart can travel 10 feet per second, or approximately 6.8 miles per hour. Pretty sure Knuckles is faster
Oh,
than
but
that.
what is
NBC
Knuckles
News,
supposed to
what are
do
you doing?
to an attack that attacks everywhere at once?
Now,
Oh.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Go ahead and get your votes in for either Wario or Knuckles. If you're watching a mobile, you can type #1.
Knuckles
or
can't
Wario or
handle Wario's
#2
raw
for Knuckles.
Italian energy.
Jesus Christ. We are going to jump into some Q&A for Batman and Iron Man, as well as check out the sneak peek for Goku Black versus Reverse Flash. And then we will come back to
Ooh.
decide
Oh,
the
yeah.
winner of the community death battle based on your votes and these guys' votes. All right, let's get to what is going on. Now we can finally talk about your episode, Josh.
Here we
Took
are.
freaking forever.
No, this was a really good community
It's a good
death
one,
battle, in my
yeah.
opinion. I'm having a blast.
Yeah. I mean, I hope
It's
you
always
guys
fun when I
are
start
ready.
yelling.
But let's talk about Batman Iron Man. I want to just get like from you, kind of jumping into this. Like, what are some things that really stood out to you as super memorable about the episode? And you were having, I don't know, what's the most fun thing about the episode to you?
Oh man. The
I know
most
that's a
fun
loaded
thing-
question, but
It is, because there were lots of parts of this that were a blast to work on. I mean, getting the fight track, like hearing the early stages of that and having it come to the final version we hear now, that was such a blast to work with. And like but I gotta say, I think it's the animation. Like, and I've talked about this before a little bit, but like that scene where Batman and the Hellbat unleashes a bunch of bats and we get to see all these crazy Iron Man suits flying around, like that sequence to me that was so much fun to work with. And like honestly, when we got back the first version of that, we had a few notes, but it was like already there. It was like it really didn't need much work. Just what the artist did was incredible, and Luis and his team were so great. And it was like I felt like a little kid. I was like, "Oh my god, this is so awesome! This is the best!" Like seeing all of them fly around and trying to track, like, "Who? Look what he's doing, and he's doing," and it was just that sequence made me feel like a little kid. I was giddy the whole time. It was so fun and exciting to see that come through all the way to the end.
One of the coolest things about this show and the just insanely talented people that we work with
Yeah.
is when you get those moments to where you're like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if a character did blank? Like you have an idea, and then these animation sorcerers are able to just like do it even better than you pictured it in your mind, and you're just like, this is the coolest thing in the world.
That moment for me was the moment that was probably critiqued the most by the community. And in terms of logic, I understand the critique, and I was aware that it didn't make a lot of sense logically, but I really wanted to see Batman pick up the fucking watchtower like a baseball bat and smack Iron Man.
That's fair, yep.
Yep.
It
And
was
people
awesome.
have very accurately pointed out, why would he do that if the whole reason was Iron Man came to shut the watchtower off and he was doing that? Now, you can make an argument, I think, that the fact that we know that Tony is hacked into it, right? He says, I've hacked into the watch. I mean, he doesn't say I've hacked into the watchtower, but Batman's trying to call Superman on the comms. Tony's hacked into the watchtower to prevent him from doing that. At that point, if Tony is hacked into it and Batman isn't there is busy fighting and not fighting the hack, it's gone. So that is an argument. But it was only an argument I came up with after the fact. I just wanted to
I did kind of think about that as we were going through the script, and I don't know. I thought we mentioned it. Is that like Batman used the Watchtower against Iron Man before Iron Man used it against him.
That was.
He's got the money to rebuild. You know, this one's this one's washed. We'll make a new one.
He's gonna take it out of Tony's bank account.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like that was the intent. You can hack both ways, right?
Yeah.
Real quick, I do want to mention because I saw a couple of people in the chat talking about it. The music should be coming out sooner than later. There's a certain point in the process where we don't really have control over. We kind of send it off, and then whenever it's able to come up, it goes up. That's what we're kind of waiting on. So it should be up sooner than later. But I believe there are some questions you wanted to cover, right, Josh?
Yeah. One question I thought was just like a great question. I saw it a couple times throughout different places in the community was why didn't Batman try any kind of like EMP against Iron Man? You know, that seems to be a great way to get rid of this like technological opponent that we've seen Batman do in the past. So I thought that was a great question, and I'm sure we can expand on that too. But I think probably the most simple answer is like the stealth suit specifically, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys. The stealth suit specifically is specifically resistant to EMPs. Like we've seen EMPs not work against the stealth Iron Man suit. And I think even in other comics, he's been able to resist that and even like reboot very quickly. So
Tony has mentioned that like earlier in his career that like his suits are EMP resistant. So even if one model isn't stated to be EMP resistant, we know it should be. Look, an EMP is blasting it with microwaves. An M1 Abrams tank is EMP resistant. It's not like kryptonite for technology. If the thing is armored well enough, it's going to be EMP resistant.
Yeah.
And Iron Man has an EMP as well, so it would just be the same for Batman. And the fact that he can use an EMP without his own suit shutting down means that it's EMP resistant.
Yeah. That's an interesting point to bring up, though, because I feel like a lot of people do treat EMP as some sort of like magic, like energy wave that just incinerates technology.
Just microwaves,
like it's just gone. Like that's just not how EMPs work. So even if you do like blast it with a bunch of them, like it's fucking Tony Stark, guys. Like, if anyone's gonna have a defense against EMPs of all things, it's definitely gonna be him.
Yeah, I think he states it in a confrontation with the Winter Soldier. He states that he's like, "You trying an EMP on me? This is first grade."
Yeah, I mean, you do that to like. I think the comics often use EMPs for like guns and like electronic weapons and things like that. But for a full suit, no, it's not gonna necessarily be reliable. But I know speaking of suits, I know there was some questions about the suits that were used or weren't used, like Batman's Justice Buster and Final Bat suit.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of questions about why didn't Batman use this suit or that suit specifically. But those two, I think, were the big two that people mentioned again and again, kind of people think of as some of his bigger suits. And to speak to the Justice Buster specifically, I think that one is clear because, I mean, I believe there's even a tab for it in the episode, but that one's designed specifically to take down members of the Justice League should they be compromised. So it's a very specialized, specific suit to take down specific members, and Iron Man is not one of them. It wouldn't be as effective towards him. And any standard stuff that suit has, Tony has, those counters for it. So that's a big one for the Justice Buster, at least.
Yes, and for the final bat suit, I as I recall, it really was just a decision of like time and resources. Like we talked about the final bat suit, possibly including it, but it didn't offer it didn't offer Batman a way to win. The mind control was kind of the only thing, and that was something that Tony had a couple of answers for. So not only would it have cost like a lot of time and money to create an entirely new sprite set. It already cost a lot to do that for the Hellbat and for the Godbuster, but then doing it for the final Batsuit as well would have been even more. On top of that, just flow-wise, the episodes are we try to keep them to a certain length, and kind of having Batman swap in and out of suits, as well as Iron Man swapping in and out of suits, just felt weird. Not only as I was writing it, but also just from a logistical standpoint. Like, it made more sense to me to have Iron Man kind of swap between suits relatively quickly, quickly, while Batman is there in the Hellbat, sort of like trying to punch through all of it. I thought that was a better way to represent the argument of the episode, which would have remained even if he had other suits. With the argument being that like he was going to get overwhelmed. So I thought it helped sell that idea, as well as just set up a contrast between them. They aren't just two guys hopping in and out of suits, in and out of suits, in and out of suits. It's Batman trying to power through this kind of wave of robots.
And the final bat suit, I think it's often sort of thought of as like Batman's ultimate suit, and it's questionable whether or not that's true. It definitely doesn't match up with some of the things that the Hellbat has done. Granted, we've seen the Hellbat a lot more than the final bat suit, but the final bat suit's also like it's just kind of weird, right? Like we don't really know much about it in terms of like how it came to be and what it's capable of. We know it can compete with the Justice League. We know that it has some sort of mind control brainwashing tool on it, but Batman never actually uses it. So we did have a debate. I remember us talking about this in our research call, like, how does it work? How does the mind control thing work? Because if it's just, because there are a couple lines in the comic where it's sort of implied that he could just flip a switch and everybody around him would just be mind controlled, basically.
Yeah, but it's also like an energy blast.
Yeah, but it uses energy blast. So it was like, well, maybe that's not how it works. Maybe it's just implied that like he would be able to target each Justice League member that he's fighting, because he's obviously able to tag them with the final Batsuit. He was not fighting Superman at the time. It should be noted that the final Batsuit was not supposed to fight Superman. World Forger was going to kill Superman in a different way. So whereas the Hellbat is able to compete with Darkseid, so there's sort of more evidence to suggest that the Hellbat, it has like that upper tier level of strength, whereas the final Batsuit was just used once and didn't really get to do a whole lot.
Yeah, we don't know about what its limits are. Like it's hyped up a lot, so it could be anything, but it's not. We don't see it do a lot. We just see it fight the Justice League, which is every Justice League villain, basically. It has these weird little drone, like Hot Wheels drones, which implies that it has like this sort of like it can adapt to an enemy or something, but we don't get the full story on that. We don't get an explanation.
Renok, the reality control is a little different. Renok mentions in reality control, it moves suns in another dimension. The whole sixth dimensional storyline is a little bizarre, but it was not. I do not believe it was the final Batsuit.
I don't think it was the suit either.
World Forger had a device that was controlling, because the idea,
like a console.
There was a setup where he had Superman on a planet that had no stars next to it, except for one very tiny, way off in the distance, and he was slowly dying. And he was controlling where the suns were, where the stars were, with this device. And in order to like prove that Batman was on his side, Batman moved the suns away from Superman using that device. But that wasn't the Hellbat. On top, or the final Batsuit. On top of that, it's questionable whether or not Batman actually built the final Batsuit. It's already there. World Forger mentions that like only you can finish the final Batsuit.
Only you.
It's sort of presented in like a. There's a lot of like they try to do some like subtle like themes with this storyline where it's like, what is the sixth dimension? Like what the fifth
Beyond
dimension is
imagination,
chaos, right?
Yeah.
This fifth dimension is imagination. What is the sixth one? And there's sort of this implication that it's like trust or truth or something like that. Because at the end of the day, Batman's trust in Superman, Superman's trust in Batman is what saves the day. And I think the intention of that scene where World Forger is like, only you can fix it, is he's trying to gauge Batman's trust. And he's trying to like, because obviously World Forger could fix it. Like he built the thing.
Maybe. I think
faith might be it. But he wants Batman to do it to prove that Batman's going to turn on the Justice League or whatnot. So,
hey guys.
It's a little weird.
I think we've talked the final Batsuit into the ground. We've spent this whole segment pretty much.
We did talk about it. It wouldn't have affected our verdict.
Right. Yeah. Well, the reason why we're doing it is because
this
is stuff that we talked about. I think it's really interesting because this is stuff that we talked about in our research call.
Oh yeah.
Like we spent a lot of time talking about the final Batsuit, and ultimately this is the stuff that we kind of came up with.
Yeah.
But final thing, I guess, without the final bat suit, what about the Iron Man suits? Like, why did you choose these specific suits outside of obviously the Hellbat?
I liked the Godbuster because it was hyped up as Tony's most powerful suit at that time, and it had I just really liked its design. Like, it was just drawn like this kind of anime thing. I just thought it would be really, really cool to represent. The virtual armor, I wanted to sneak that in there. I just found I wanted to use it, but it was a lot, so I found a kind of a little way to use it, which is he's wearing it underneath the Godbuster, like it's how he blocks Batman's first punch. And all the other suits were just I think most, like, the suits in the Big Swarm were were animator's choice, because it could be kind of any of them.
Yeah, and I liked that because, like, aesthetically, it's a really sweet decked out Iron Man suit, but it still looks like an Iron Man suit. Like, I feel like some of my least favorite, just from an aesthetic perspective, some of my least favorite Iron Man suits are the ones that they drift too far from like that original iconic kind of look. Yeah. So I liked the idea of like, a souped up one that looks more or less like Iron Man. Yeah, I mean, that's just like my personal thing, you know. I like
I always thought it was like so cool. Like when he got his like space armor, or when he got his like underwater one, it looked so different, and like, I don't know, I always thought it was cool as a kid.
I just feel like we needed to, like, if it's a fight between Iron Man and Batman, it's great to have suits that look like a version of the Batman suit and look like a version of the Iron Man suit going head to head. So I was happy about that when we went to start making it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, now let's get to what I'm sure plenty of people have been waiting for. Let's check out the sneak peek for Goku Black. Goku Black versus Reverse Flash.
This is Reverse Flack.
Let's check that out.
It was me, Barry. I was the one who... Mortals, sinners, prepare for divine justice! Oops. Excuse me, sir. I'm in need of your services.
So good.
Yeah.
All right.
I love that.
Goku Black debuts this weekend, this Sunday for first members, and Monday on YouTube. All right. Excited to share this episode with you guys. It was so much fun to work on.
Another conflict over food. Yeah. I guess the beverage.
Yeah. That nice tea. All right. Time to get to who wins this community death battle. All right, so let's go ahead and just get through this quick. As always, we've got responses from you guys from Twitter. So let's go ahead and bring up the first response for Knuckles or Wario, whichever one it is.
This one comes from Mushroom Man. Wario has this in the bag. He has the bigger arsenal, better durability, and possibly strength. He also has many ways to counter Hyper Knuckles, like Mario's own Power Star. There's also that feat where he survived the destruction of a dimension in Wario World.
Mushroomin', you read my mind. Or, well, you read my mind you predicted what I would say, because I said that earlier in this cast. I agree with you, Mushroom.
Wow, okay. Let's go ahead and bring up the answer for Knuckles and see if they read my mind.
GD Mansour says, Knuckles wins easily. Unlike Sonic, he doesn't chuckle. God. And gosh. Wario has often been seen chuckling. Checkmate.
Yeah.
That's legit. Yeah, you read my mind.
I'm so destroyed right now.
Wow.
We have this great argument for Wario. And then that's what we get.
You don't think that was a great argument for Knuckles? I mean, that was amazing.
Yes, clearly that was great.
Well, let's prove it. All right, let's go ahead and bring up the first vote, which is going to be the Twitter poll.
Oh, this is close.
That's wow.
So basically, turns out to 51% to 49.
Wow,
Wario
that's really
takes
close.
it barely. Barely.
Yeah. Oh, crazy.
Let's see if Ben was able. We'll see if he swayed the chat here in a bit.
So we got one vote for Wario, but we got 3 votes left. So let's go ahead and start with you, Chad.
Oh yeah, sure. Like I said at the very beginning, when Liam made that horrific joke pun, that I'm going with Knuckles.
What?
Wow.
I thought I had you on my. You left the screen when Ben did the rap.
This is true.
Did that not counter that?
Hey,
Lord.
I just know my gut says Knuckles.
I recognize that it was terrible, so
I feel like I
did
need
it anyway.
I want to reward the commitment to the rap.
What?
I'm so split and torn. I think that's going to be my deciding factor. I'm going Knuckles.
Oh my god! Are you kidding me?
So we got 2 for Knuckles and 1 for Wario.
This is Liam's favorite part.
All right, but it comes down to this. This could be a tie. Let's bring up the vote from the live chat. See where we are at. It's ending right now.
Oh!
Wario wins 53 to 47. That means we are tied.
Oh my
And
gosh.
the way we settle ties is we go to the voice of God himself, Brian. Brian, who are you voting for?
All right. Now
Excuse
everyone
my
can hear
God.
me. All
Hey
right.
there, Brian.
Oh
Here we go.
God. Oh,
Great arguments were made on both sides. This is a
It's
close
true.
one, Brian.
It's very close.
this is so close. Fuck.
I was 51-49 in my heart. It was so
Yeah,
close.
Right?
It's
I mean, if I should stand by what I put in the live chat poll. I said
And that
Wario.
was?
Oh!
okay.
That's where I went.
Our director sides with Wario, and that puts it 3 Wario, 2 Knuckles.
I got too into it. I was really
man.
on the edge of my seat. It's the first time Brian's ever voted for my character.
Aw.
Amazing.
Well, Wario wins, but man, that came down to the
What
wire.
a slobber knocker.
Oh my gosh, that was fun.
I
Okay,
don't take these personally. Fuck it.
I think it's very serious.
Hey, I voted for you.
Thank you. You're my favorite.
Thank you.
So is Josh.
I have to say, Josh, that betrayal.
No, I'll remember.
FB, screw you guys in the chat. It should have been Knuckles.
All right. Amazing. Thank you, everybody who voted and tuned in live. This is always so much ridiculous fun and insane.
Yeah.
Next up is Achievement Hunter. Again, Goku Black versus Reverse Flash debuts this Sunday on Rooster Teeth for First members. Go ahead and sign up if you want to see it first. Why it's called first. But it will be on YouTube on Monday as well. We are super excited to share this episode with you. Get ready for some, if you thought it was a little wild and violent and brutal and crazy in the preview, it goes hard.
Yeah.
It really does.
All right. So actually, Brian, if we can play that sneak peek again once we sign off, that would be great. So we'll wrap up the show with that, just to give a second viewing. But until then, thank you everybody here for joining and
participating,
dealing with me trying to rap. I guess.
I guess
two of you didn't deal with it.
Not the first time, Ben.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. So be kind to others, be kind to yourself, be awesome, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
Bye.
It was me, Barry. I was the one who... Mortals, sinners, prepare for for divine justice! Oops. Excuse me, sir. I'm in need of your services.